All right, thank you for tuning in to the first part of the high school specific training. We'll be talking here about just the program basics and structure of what we're trying to do. So, as you probably know, this is a partnership between three organizations. We have ARYSE, the Alliance for Refugee Youth Support and Education, as well as JFCS, which are the two nonprofits that provide both the curriculum and then the volunteers and clients to the program. And then, of course, this is all happening at Duquesne University, so they're a very important partner that is really central to all of this. They've welcomed the kids on the campus, and they're very open to our participation as full members of their community. So the program goals are to promote academic success and college and career readiness. And then in addition, there's some more soft goals like celebration of cultural identity, social and cultural integration, building meaningful community, civic engagement, and long-term life satisfaction. So there's actually a research project done by a professor at Duquesne of political science she's measuring the students' community engagement and their understanding of U.S. civics and culture. And so this is an ongoing process. So you're going to be getting the homework done while also answering their questions that they might have just randomly about culture. And there's also going to be certain days where a field trip might focus specifically on culture and less about academics. So we really view both as equally important, and so it's important to remember that that it. And so we really view both as equally important. So here's a typical day at the after school club at Duquesne. The students take a bus from school to a train, and then they ride that train into downtown. Once they're in downtown, they walk to the first building, where from 3:30 to 4 o'clock they have dinner time and they just kind of hang out and socialize. And then at 4 o'clock, they transition to Rockwell Hall. At 4:15, Mike will start the program talking with each other, kind of rundown on what's going on and maybe the curriculum for the day or upcoming activities. And then at 5 o'clock, by that time, we'll have separated into the homework group and the kids who don't have homework for that day. You'll get a chance to do that homework while if you're not interested in doing the homework and you want to go with the other group, they'll be doing something else from the curriculum that Mike has designed for the day. And then at 5:45, we come back together, we do the chant, and then we walk back to the tee with all the kids. And this is very, as formal as I may have just made it sound, it's very flexible. Be prepared for things to change. We really operate on the fly a lot of the time, and so just be ready for that to happen. So Tuesdays and Thursdays look very different. Every Tuesday is programming developed by ARYSE. So these are things that are geared towards celebrating culture and the social and emotional well-being and civic engagement, while Thursdays are programming developed by the JFCS Career Development Center. So they have the Refugee Youth Employment Program, which provides activities geared toward career exploration, academic preparedness, post-secondary planning, and workforce development. So Thursdays are things like scholarship searches, presentations by people from trade schools or from CCAC, looking at how to fill out the FAFSA form, those types of activities, which are different from the more introspective pieces of a RISE curriculum on Tuesdays. So here's some photos, field trips. Like for example, on the left, the students went to the city hall. So like example here on the left, the students went to City Hall, and they got to kind of just tour the mayor's office in the city council area. And the middle here, that's when they went to the Cathedral of Learning, and they've gotten to go around to different college campuses and had picnics as well. They've done kayaking, and of course the whole time the mentoring relationship is a really important piece. So everywhere you're going, there's focusing on civic engagement or focusing on academics or post-secondary readiness. That's always important, but you are constantly able to act as a mentor with the kid. That means the ways that you look at them, the conversations you have, the vocabulary you use, it's all very important for developing that relationship. And once you have that relationship that's very solid, then you have more trust with them, and maybe it's easier for them to develop their skills. And so that's a really valuable piece of what you're doing, is constantly acting as a mentor to the kids. So as you see, there's been just some great relationships started between the kids and the mentors. They really enjoy the relationships they have, and so we look forward to seeing each of you develop some of those on your